In our last class, we have ended somewhere around line number 30, where we have seen that the Duke is representing the character of the Duchess, and what he is showing that the nature of the Duchess is that she gave equal importance to everyone or everything. Okay, this gave her equal pleasure. All the things gave her equal pleasure. Clear? And this was uh, a reason of the jealousy of the Duke. And what we find here is that the nature of the Duke was such that he wanted everything for him. Okay, and we will see how this is growing, or how this appearance, how these characteristics of the Duke is growing. Okay, so line number 31, she thanked men, and there is a dash. Okay, so it is a pause. She thanked men. Good. So apparently what we find here is that the Duke is saying it is good that she thanked men. Okay, but what we find here is that it is being said after a pause, which shows that Duke actually does not want to say good. Okay, it is just a pretense of him. Okay, she thanked men, good, but thanked somehow, again pause, again dots. So he was about to complain, but he restrained himself. ওকে, সে আবার কমপ্লেন করতে যাচ্ছিল যে ঠিক আছে, সে থ্যাঙ্ক করে, হি থ্যাঙ্কস, she thanks men, it is good, but thanked somehow, she might be, or the Duke might be trying to say, or he was trying to say that somehow equally. There is this possibility that the Duke was trying to say that the Duchess thanked everyone equally. Okay, how I am coming to that? Because the next line, what he says? He says, I know not how, as if she ranked my gift of a 900 years old name with anybody's gift. Okay, so somehow equally, how? Because the word equally is not there, I am placing it. Okay, this any reader who is understanding the text would understand that the complaint about the Duke is that he is treated with equal compassion, with equal importance with simpler people, or the gifts of simpler people, and that is his main complaint. Okay, and he is giving an example over here. He is saying that how could she rank, or how could she place his family's name of 900 years in comparison, or at equal level with anybody's gift, any stranger's gift, or anybody's gift. Okay, so what we find here is that Duke's feeling of egoism, okay, and his air of age-old aristocratic name is shown over here. Okay, he is proud for that, he is proud for his aristocratic name. So he disapproves, the Duke disapproves the fact that she equally values, the Duchess equally values the gift given by an unknown person with the Duke's gift of 900 years. And what is the gift? The gift of the name of the aristocratic heritage. Okay, by name I mean the name of the family. Okay, she has been brought into this great lineage, she has been brought into this aristocratic heritage, and she should place the name of the family above everything. But the Duchess was such that she would treat the name of her family, that into which she is being married, with anybody's materialistic or any kind of gift that has been given to her. Okay, so what we get to see? We get to see two pictures, one of the Duchess and one of the Duke. What we find? We find that the Duke is so much engrossed within the social structure. He is so much engrossed within the structure of the social norms, of the social heritage, that he takes it to pride when this is actually demeaning him or demeaning his family lineage. Okay, the Duke considers that she, that is the Duchess, is demeaning the name of the family by equating it with any other gift that is given to her. Whereas, what we find? We find that the Duchess is not intending to hurt or is in any position to hurt the family lineage or the name of the family lineage, but what she does is actually because of her innocence, is actually because of her simplicity, okay, which is not understood by the Duke. Okay, so for him, for the Duke, it is more important, the family name is more important. Okay, whereas she is of a kind, the Duchess is of a kind who treats everyone equally and everything equally. And through this, we get a social picture also. Okay, we get a social picture because we get to see that it is in general a tradition that the people of the higher sections of the society, higher classes, they will actually put a distance between them and the lowest sections of the society. Whereas when we see the character of the Duchess, she is not doing so. She is treating them equally. Okay, whether it is her husband or husband's name, or what we find here is that it is any kind of gift that is given to her. Clear? And the Duke says, who would stoop to blame this sort of trifling? Okay, so he is saying that who would actually lower his standard, who will actually lower his standard to this sort of trifling. This sort of trifling here means the Duke thought it is beneath his dignity to tutor her. Okay, it is beneath her dignity to be tutoring her. Okay, that's why. So, see the social structure. Social structure places the Duke above anyone under anyone who is in his area. Anyone who is in his area will be under him, right? Moreover, what we find, the Duchess is also below him in social rank. Okay, in a society, the Duke holds the topmost position. Okay, obviously the area in which he is governing. Clear? So he will be the topmost authority. But when it comes into the family structure, we get to see, or we feel that, or we should have expected that the Duke and the Duchess will be on the same plane. But what actually is, a woman is always placed below the social strata of the men, and it is quite unfortunate, but this has been the tradition of the society. Okay, especially the society that has been described over here. And so it is reflected over here that this sort of trifling মানে যে তুচ্ছ জিনিস, ঠিক আছে, এই তুচ্ছ জিনিস ডাচেস করছে, সো লাইট থিং যেটা হচ্ছে সোসাইটি করছে, সেইখানটায় ডিউক কি বলছে, ডিউক considered that it is beneath his dignity, it is beneath his social strata, social position, social dignity to tutor her. Okay, and that is why he is saying this. Even had you skill in speech, which I have not, to make your will quite clear to such an one. Okay, so even if you had the skill, okay, even if you had the skill of tutoring a person, even if you had the skill to guide a person, which I have not. The Duke is saying that he does not have the skill to guide any person. He does not have the skill, the oratorial skill or the speaking skill to teach any person, to make your will quite clear to such an one. What does such an one mean? By such an one, the Duke means, or Robert Browning is trying to present through Duke, is that such an one means such a childish and frivolous one, or the frivolous Duchess. Okay, so what we find here is that to make your will quite clear to such an one. Okay, so what he is saying, what the Duke is saying, that even if you had the speaking skill, even if you have the oratorial skill, you would not, even if you had the oratorial skill to make yourself clear to such a frivolous Duchess, to such a childish Duchess, what will happen? She will not listen to you. Okay, and say just this or that is disgust me. Even if you have the capability to make it clear that these are the things that you do not like, these are the things are not liked by you, these are the things I hate. Okay, here you miss, or there you exceed the mark, or even, and if you are able to clearly say that these things should not be done by you, এখানটায় তুমি হচ্ছে লাইন ক্রস করে গেছো. Okay, you have exceeded the mark, you should not have done this as a Duchess. Okay, এই সমস্ত যদিও বলার তোমার ক্ষমতা থাকতো, if you have this capability, if you had this capability that I do not have, he is saying that আমার বলার ক্ষমতা নেই, আমার oratorial power নেই. Even if you had the capability to express yourself so clearly that you will be able to put point by point that these are the things you should not do, that is a Duchess should not do, even then what will happen? Even then, and if she let herself be listened, so even after telling, if she listens to you, if she listens to your lessons, so nor plainly set her wits to yours. Okay, she will not nor plainly set her wits to yours. Okay, forsooth and made excuse. Okay, what the Duke is saying, even if you are able to make your voice clear, even if you are able to clearly say these are the things you should not have done, these are the things you are crossing the line of being a Duchess or your social strata, what we find here is that even if she listens to you, even if she listens to you, what we find? We find she does not, she will not agree with you and goes on arguing. Okay, nor plainly set her wits to yours. Okay, she will completely disagree with you. Okay, she will be putting her wits to yours. That means she will be arguing with you. Clear? She will be arguing with her own ideas. Clear? So the Duke's complaint is that even if you are able to clearly say, even if you are able to clearly say your heart's desire or the complaints that you have, even if you are able to say that, even if you are able to listen her, give a lesson to her, she will not agree with you. Okay, and goes on arguing her wits to yours. She will put on her wits, that is, she will argue. She will argue with you continuously. Forsooth, that is, indeed. Indeed, and make excuse. She will, forsooth means indeed, she will indeed made excuse. That is, she will justify her conduct. Clear? So what we find here is that the Duke is continuously complaining about the Duchess, and there might be questions that why didn't you took up the stance to tutor her? Okay, there will be question that if you are not satisfied with the Duchess, why you didn't tutor her? So the Duke is saying, even if you have the capability of speech, even if you have the capability of tutoring her, which he did not have, what will happen? The Duchess will come up with new excuses, come up with uh, and she will argue, she will put up excuses to justify her conduct. She will never listen to you. Okay, that is the stance, that is what the Duke is saying. Clear? And to this, what? To this, uh, this attitude of the Duchess is not liked by the Duke. And what he says? He says, even then would be some stooping, and I choose never to stoop. So, even if it is done, even if some tutoring is done to the Duchess, and what she will do? She will always make some excuse to justify her conduct, to justify the things that she does. She will make some excuses. She will be arguing with the person who will be giving her lessons, or will be telling her what should be done and what should not be done. Even then, even if that is done, the Duke says that would be stooping, and I choose never to stoop. So it is an old spelling that has been given over here. So for the Duke says that Duke will never choose to stoop. Stoop for what? Stoop mane jhoka. Okay, jhoka. What is jhoka? Mane the Duke will never lower his position in front of his wife. Okay, for him the social position, for him his social position is of most importance. তার কাছে ওয়াইফ যায় ভাড় মে, ঠিক আছে, তার কাছে সব থেকে হচ্ছে বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্ট কি, তার কাছে সব থেকে বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্ট হচ্ছে নিজের সম্মান। ক্লিয়ার? সো it doesn't matter whether this wife is doing right or wrong. What is most important to him, what is most important for the Duke, is to have his head high. Okay, he will never stoop and request or try to train anyone so that they fall according or do according to the wishes of the Duke. That is also considered by the Duke to be below his standard. Clear? Oh, sir, she smiled, no doubt, whenever I passed her. Okay, so you might see, or you might feel that there is no love between the Duke and the Duchess. Okay, but we are again getting to see the dramatic technique, the dramatic monologue. He is addressing the envoy. Obviously, the whole poem is addressed to the envoy, right? The envoy from the Count of Tyrol. So he is saying, the Duke is saying, oh sir, it is not that she did not liked me. Okay, she smiled at me, no doubt. She smiled at me whenever I passed. Okay, the Duke says that the Duchess smiled at him every moment he passed her. Okay, but here is the twist. But who passed without much such the smile? So it is a rhetorical question that has been asked by the Duke. Okay, it is a rhetorical question he is asking by saying, when I passed, she smiled at me. But is there anyone who is passing and not seeing that smile? So what he is trying to say here is that everyone who passed by the Duchess got that smile. Okay, so Duke says that the Duchess smiles equally on everyone. She is as if the sun, but the positivity is not given to her. Okay, the positive attribute of the sun is not given to her. What she is being projected here like? She is being projected here like a character who is promiscuous. Okay, and what I find here is that this gesture is not liked by the Duke, and he is obviously insecure. He is obviously insecure of the actions that the Duchess is doing, and that's why he is complaining. Clear? But who passed without such much the same smile? So everyone, that is the question, that is there anyone who have not passed by her without that smile? That is, everyone has passed by by getting or while getting that smile. Clear? So again what we find here is that she is treating everyone equally, and obviously any man with ego, uh, an egoistic man will obviously become jealous, will obviously become insecure with this kind of treatment. A person who is so engrossed within his own importance will obviously feel left out, will obviously feel insecure because of this kind of treatment, where his wife, the Duchess, treats him the way, and the treatment of others will also be the same, is also the same. Okay, and that is why he is so insecure. Next, this grew. এইটা বাড়তে থাকলো। এটা বাড়তে থাকলো মানে কি? This here means this gesture of courtesy. This gesture of courtesy increased. Okay, what we find here is that this Duke is not in a position to submit or give away his aristocratic position. He is such a person who is willing to hold on to his position with his utmost strength, even if that means giving away his wife. Okay, and why I am saying giving away, you will see in the next line only. Okay, what is happening? The Duke is saying that this gesture of the Duchess, that she smiled at everyone, she treated everyone equally, and the Duke did not have any importance. This gesture continuously grew. Okay, this gesture continuously grew. He is a self-concerted person. Okay, and the next line is very important. I gave commands, then all smiles stopped together. Sorry. I gave commands, then all smiles stopped together. So, what do you feel if you are an innocent person, if you see from a simplistic point of view that the Duke commanded and the all smiles stopped? That is, if you are an innocent person, you will think that the Duke commanded the Duchess not to smile at everyone. Okay, and she put to it. She accepted that and all smiles stopped. That she stopped, okay, smiling at everyone. But this is not the case. This is not the case. Why? Because here, what we find here, the real meaning is the Duke did not command the Duchess to stop smiling. The Duke never. Who did the Duke commanded? The Duke commanded his soldiers or anyone else to kill the Duchess. Okay, the Duchess was killed, and that is why all her smiles stopped. Clear? And what we find here is that he is presenting this in a garb, in a pretense, like that he commanded the Duchess to stop. Okay, he commanded the Duchess to stop. So this line has two meanings. Apparently, for the envoy, it will appear that she commanded the Duchess and she stopped smiling, and it was as simple as that. But unfortunately, it is not the right one. It is not the truth. What is the truth? She commanded, the Duke gave certain commands to someone, to people, to murderer, okay, and that led all her smiles to stop. Okay, that is, she died. She faced death. And if you face death, if you are dead, what will happen? You will not be able to smile. And you might question me how you are coming to understand this, that the Duke did not command the Duchess, rather she was murdered, because of the next line. Okay, see the next line. It says that there she stands as if alive. As if alive. So the commands which made the Duchess to stop smiling is being juxtaposed, or is placed just after what? She stands as if alive. So these are the contrasting pictures. What? A person can stand only when he or she is alive, right? So now what we find? We find that the Duke is referring to the painting. Okay, he is being referring to the painting, and he is saying that there she stands. That is, there she stands in the portrait as if alive. যেন সে নিজে বেঁচে আছে. As if, যেন দেখে মনে হচ্ছে সে বেঁচে আছে. So what we get to see? We get to understand, we get to feel that actually she is not alive. Okay, তার জন্যই তো বলছি as if সে alive. ওকে, দেখে যেন মনে হচ্ছে সে জ্যান্ত বা জীবিত, রাইট? তার মানে রিয়ালিটিতে কি, সে বেঁচে নেই। Okay, it is saying that as if she is alive, which showcases that we get a feeling that she is alive. But in reality, what it is? In reality, it is that she is not alive. That's why the words are being chosen like that, as if she is alive. দেখে যেন মনে হচ্ছে সে জীবিত আছে। Clear? So, then, what we find? We find again the ordering tendency of the Duke, or this controlling tendency of Duke is coming forward. From the very first line, what we find? We find that the Duke is commanding. Everything is happening according to his commands. Right? Likewise, here it is so. He had asked the envoy to sit and see the painting. He did that. Now, after explaining what he is saying, he is saying that, will it please you to rise? You here means the envoy. Will you like to get up? We will meet the company below then. So if you kindly get up, then we will go below and meet other people who are there. So what we find here is that there is this contrasting picture that she stands as if alive, but with subtlety the Duke said that the Duchess is already dead. Okay, and by saying all these things, what we get to see? We get to see the power, we get to see the nature of the Duke. Okay, his commanding ability, his nature of commanding is being exposed over here. Clear? I repeat, the Count, your master's known munificence, is ample warrant that no just pretense of mine for dowry will be disallowed. So he is now coming straight to the present moment. Okay, his reason, the present reason he is now coming to. What is the reason? He is saying that the Count, that is the Count of Tyrol, munificence means generosity. Okay, so the envoy has come bringing the Count's niece's marriage proposal, right? I have said you in the beginning only. So what the Duke is saying? The Duke is saying, I know of your master's generosity. That is the Count of Tyrol's master here means master of the envoy. Okay, the Count's munificence, Count's generosity is known to you. Okay, the Count's generosity is known to everyone, and it is ample warrant, it is ample proof that no just pretense of mine for dowry will be disallowed. So that is, my pretense of not wanting dowry, my pretense of not wanting dowry will be disallowed, that it will not be entertained. That is what he is saying, that even if I try to say that I do not want any dowry in the marriage, that will not be entertained by the Duke. He will obviously give me. But what we find here is that the word pretense is important. Why? What is pretense? Pretense of not wanting dowry. Pretense mane bhan. Okay, so it is not actual. Jodi she bhan kore, if he actually pretended that he does not want dowry, that is, a Duke does not want dowry, his arguments will not be heard. So what we find here is that he is actually marrying because of dowry. Okay, so what we find here is that the Duke says the Count's generosity is a sufficient guarantee to satisfy his expectation of dowry. Okay, he has this capability, or he has this capability to nullify the pretense of the Duke. The Duke will obviously pretend that he does not want dowry, but the Count's generosity is such, he is so generous that he will obviously give dowry. He will not listen. Okay, so his pretense of dowry. And what we find over here? We find another quality or another characteristics of the Duke. What is that? The acquisitive attitude of the Duke. Okay, this acquisitive attitude of the Duke is shown against the background of the Renaissance and also indirectly of the Victorian life. Why? Because the Victorian life only wanted to hoard. Okay, they had this tendency of hoarding. They had this tendency of profit making. And that is what the Duke is doing. The Victorian life's characteristics is imposed or imbibed within the Duke. Okay. So, though the Duke does not belong to the Victorian age, he belongs to Italy and so on. So, what we find here is that this Victorian characteristics is there within this Duke in hoarding, in profit making. So, what we find here is that he is marrying because of dowry. He is marrying because of the social status, obviously, or the connections that he can establish, but along with it, he is willing to get to be married because of the dowry. Clear? Though his fierce daughter's self, as I avowed, at starting is my object. So see the important words. Important word is at starting. Okay. So though his fair daughter's self, though it is being said over here that it is the daughter of the Count of Tyrol, but it is actually the niece. Okay. So though his fair daughter self, as I avowed means declare. So the Duke says that at first the girl is his object. Okay, his object of want. Okay, at starting প্রথমে হচ্ছে এই মেয়েটাই বিয়ে করা তার মেইন উদ্দেশ্য। ক্লিয়ার? অ্যাট স্টার্টিং প্রথমে হচ্ছে তাকে বিয়ে করা, মেয়েটাকে বিয়ে করা হচ্ছে প্রথম উদ্দেশ্য। ইফ at first the marriage or the marrying this girl is the main motive, what is your second motive or what is your second objective? To earn the dowry. If you pull the ears, the head will come. কান টানলে মাথা আসবে, সেটাই বলতে চাইছো? Obviously so. Obviously that তুমি হচ্ছে মেয়েটাকে বিয়ে করা হচ্ছে তোমার প্রথম উদ্দেশ্য বলছো, ভালো কথা। ঠিক আছে, তুমি তোমার হচ্ছে ক্যারেক্টারটাকে পরিষ্কার রাখার চেষ্টা করছো। But what we find here is that the choice of words is actually presenting his nature. Okay, he is saying that at first his target, at first his objective is to do what? At first his object is to marry the girl. And I avowed means declare. He is declaring that it is his first objective to marry the girl. Good, very good. But along with that, what we find? Along with that, he knows that the Duke is generous enough to give him a huge amount of dowry. So his next motive or his hidden motive is what? His hidden motive is to get the dowry. Clear? Because as we have seen in the previous case, as we have seen in the case of the Last Duchess, whose painting we were seeing, that he was not much interested with the Duchess, because if he had loved her, what he would have done? He would have talked with her, he would have if he had given importance to the Duchess, the Last Duchess, he would have asked her not to do this thing, not to do that thing, it hurts my feelings, he would have said that. But no, his importance, his social importance is of greater to him. Okay, it is more important to him rather than counseling his wife or stating his needs or stating what is not right and what is right and what is not right. Clear? So is my object. So at starting is my object showcases the Duke's hypocrisy. Okay, his cunning and desire for possession is revealed over here. Okay, and no one is away from it. No, nothing is hidden from anyone. Clear? The Duke's nature is being exposed over here. Nay, we will go. So now they will go together down, sir. They will go down. So they were looking at the painting upstairs. Now they will go down to meet everyone. Next again, what we'll see? He is targeting your sight or the envoy's sight to a statue. Okay, Neptune. Though taming a seahorse thought a rarity, which Claus of Innsbruck cast in bronze for me. So when they are coming down, he points his finger or shows a bronze statue which is there to the envoy. and it describes Neptune taming a seahorse. Okay, it has different layers to it. এটায় অনেকগুলো লেয়ার আছে, এই ব্রোঞ্জ স্ট্যাচুতে অনেকগুলো লেয়ার আছে আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং এর। হোল্ড অন টু ইয়োর ইমপেশেন্স, বোঝার জন্য একটু পেশেন্ট হও, তাহলে হচ্ছে বুঝতে পারবে। What the bronze statue is about? The bronze statue is a rarity. It is a rare statue. This statue is thought to be rare, and this statue is made of bronze. Though it is rare, it is made for him. It is there with him. So it is a statue which is made by Claus of Innsbruck, another imaginary artist, and this artist's name are being used in order to give importance to the work of art. Okay, so if you ascribe my name to it, if you ascribe my name to any paint of art, it will not get any kind of importance. Rather, if you put up the name of someone great who is great at painting, it will get more affiliation, it will get more and more attraction. So what I was trying to present over here is that Neptune is described over here. Neptune is being described over here as the taming the seahorse. Okay, in this bronze statue, what we see Neptune is taming the seahorse. Okay, though it is a rare collection, though it is a rare model, rare statue, it is there with him. So this is the upper layer meaning. But what we get, Neptune is equals to Duke. Okay, the Duke sees himself in the images of Neptune and his wife, that is the Last Duchess, or even the prospective wife in the image of the seahorse. Okay, which has been tamed. Clear? And how it has been tamed? It has been tamed by killing and by marrying. Clear? By killing whom? By killing the Last Duchess, and by marrying or putting on this impression of so severe, so strict a person through the envoy. Okay, so what we find here is that this model, not the model, or this bronze statue is a representation of the Duke's household, the nature, the bonding or the relationship between the Duke and the Duchess. Okay, it might be the Last Duchess, not just might, it is with every Duchess. Okay, so the Duke sees himself in the image of the Neptune, who is taming a rare creature. Seahorse itself is a rare creature. Okay, so the Duke, by marrying the Duchess or the Count's niece or the previous Duchess, he has tamed them. Okay, even if they were not willing to be tamed, they were not willing to fall into the conformities or the social constrictions, how they are tamed? They are tamed by killing and put up in a painting, where they cannot move, they can only smile, they can only be put up. They cannot see anyone, they cannot smile at anyone, but they are at the disposal of whom? They are at the disposal of the Duke. Duke যখন চাইবে, when the Duke will want, they will come to light, because they will be covered by curtains always. Okay, so what we find here is that like now the Duchess is in full control within the painting. The Duke now controls who sees her. Okay, she is now tamed. Okay, she is now tamed like the seahorse is being tamed by Neptune. Okay, so the statue at the end is a hint that the Duke how tamed the Duchess. Okay, so this elusive symbolization is that taming is an art the Duke both admires and practices. Okay, he admires in what? He admires it in statues. Okay, he obviously he likes that statue, he likes the pose of the statue, he likes the action that is within the statue, right? That is, Neptune is taming a seahorse, and that is why it is in his house. Okay, that is why it is in his palace, right? And it is not just the statue he likes, but the action is liked by him because it is his own nature. That is taming. He wants to control everyone, he wants to tame everyone. Okay, so it is his psychological construct, it is his psychological way of dealing with things, that anyone who will go against him will be controlled, will be tamed. And that is reflected, and his character is reflected through this statue in the end of the poem. Clear? So another question that is important beside dramatic monologue is the character of the Duke. Clear? So this statue, though Innsbruck in Austria was a famous painter for his bronze work, what we find here is that Claus of Innsbruck here is an imaginary artist. Clear? So what we find here is that throughout the poem it showcases the nature of the Duke. Okay, the Duke's character is being reflected through the dramatic monologue, and Browning is presenting that how My Last Duchess is a supreme example of dramatic monologue technique, and through the dramatic monologue we get to see the nature of the Duke, we get to see in the aristocratic pride that is within the Duke, along with that his hypocrisy, his cunning desire for possession, also his, what can you say, his allureness for money. Clear? So his acquisitive attitude is seen over here, and this is being placed, the Duke is put up from the Italian Renaissance and Italian fold, Italian sphere, and is placed within what? Placed within the Victorian life through his nature of hoarding, through his nature of profit making. Okay, so that's why it is so successful a poem. Okay.